Internet is increasingly important part of everyday life for people around the world and keeps on defining how people coexist with each other. But if you have never used the internet before, all this new information might feel a bit confusing at first. Good people, welcome to lesson 6 of looking at internet and web fundamentals. In this lesson, we are going to look at understanding internet basics and concept of virtual private networks, that is VPN, in internet. This is the 6th video in my series where I'm teaching about internet and web fundamentals. In the last video, I talked about routing and packet switching as part of wide area network. I've also shared the link to the comprehensive article about this lesson in this video description. Good people, my name is Anwar Mulombe from Mulan Technologies. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. Hit that notification bell icon to receive instant updates whenever I upload a video in the coming days. Leave your comment below in the comment section and share this video to help your friends know about it. We're talking about internet. So, what is internet? Internet is a worldwide system of connected computer networks. Computers that connect to the internet use the TCP/IP protocol suite. In our previous lesson, we learned that TCP/IP are a set of standard rules that allow different types of computers to communicate with each other over the internet. Guys, with the internet, it's possible to access almost any information, communicate with anyone else in the world, and do much more. And before we continue, it's good we look at a brief history of internet. On October 29th, that's 1969, an organization called ARPANET, that's Advanced Research Projects Agency, launched the first iteration of the internet, also known as the ARPANET, connecting 4 computers amongst those universities. When this network of computers was connected, universities were able to access files and transmit information from one university to the other, as well as internally. Guys, as the researchers developed the system, they continued to connect computers from other universities too. Eventually, ARPANET was renamed to Internet. TCP/IP protocol was established in the year 1970s, allowing internet technology to mature. The development of these protocols aided in the standardization of how data was sent and received via the internet. Just to let you know, the internet has been able to diversify and grow swiftly. Wi-Fi was first introduced in the 1997. The year is 1998 and Windows 98 is released. Smartphone became widespread in 2007 and the 4G network was launched in 2009. The internet is used by approximately 3 billion people nowadays. By the year 2030, there are expected to be 7.5 billion internet users with more than 500 billion devices connected to the internet. Then, how now does the internet works? We have learned from our previous topics that internet is a worldwide computer network that transmits a variety of data and media across interconnected devices. It works by using a packet routing network that follows TCP/IP protocols which work together to ensure that data transmissions across the internet is consistent and reliable no matter which device you are using or where you are using it. When data is transferred over the internet, it's delivered in messages and packets. Data sent over the internet is called messages. But before messages get sent, they are broken up into tiny parts called the packets. These messages and packets travel from one source to the next. Using a numerical address referred to as the IP address, the IP system receives further instruction on how the data should be transferred. The Internet Protocol, that's TCP, works with the IP to ensure transfer of data is dependable and reliable. This helps to make sure that no packets are lost, packets are reassembled in proper sequence, and there is no delay negatively affecting the data quality. For example, when you type a web address in a browser, your PC or device is connected to the web through a modem or a router. Together, these devices allow you to connect to other networks around the globe. Your router enables multiple computers to join the same network, while a modem connects to your ISP, that's Internet Service Provider, which provides you with either cable or DSL internet. Looking at this in practice, in step number 1, you type in a web address known as URL, e.g. www.google.com. Each website has its own unique URL that signals to your ISP where you want to go to. In step number 2, your query is pushed to your ISP, which connects to several servers which store and sends data like a DNS, that's domain name server. In step number 3, your browser looks up the IP address for the domain name you typed into your search engine through DNS. DNS then translates the text-based domain name you typed into the browser into the number-based IP address. Example, google.com is translated to 64.233.191.255. Your browser then sends a HTTP request to the target server to send a copy of the website to the client using TCP/IP. In step number 5, the server then approves the request and sends a 200, that's okay, HTTP request message to your computer. The server sends a website files to the browser in the form of data packets. As your browser reassembles the data packets, the website loads, allowing you to learn, to shop, to browse, and to do any form of browsing. Example of the uses of internet include things such as the email, that's the web chat, World Wide Web, internet telephony, and video conferencing, which refers to the use of voice and images to communicate amongst users. Then sometimes we're going to look under the internet as are what we refer to as the intranets and extranets. They are used by organizations to share data with the select individuals, whereas an intranet is used by organization to share data with its employees. An extranet is used to share data with the sister companies or other partnered organizations. Just by definition, an intranet is a private computer network or a single website that an organization implements in order to share data with employees around that's the world. User authentication is necessary before a person can access information in an intranet. Ideally, this keeps the general public out as long as the intranet is properly secured. Guys, generally, a company refers to intranet as its private website, or perhaps the portion of the company website that is private. However, intranets use all the inherent technologies characteristics of the internet. Then an extranet, on the other hand, is similar to an intranet, except that it's extended to users outside a company and possibly to the entire organization that are separate from a lateral to the company. For instance, if a company often needs to do business with a specific organization, it might choose to set up an extranet in order to facilitate information sharing. User authentication is still necessary, and an extranet is not open to the general public. Then the figure below illustrates both an intranet and extranet. Users can connect to the intranets and extranet by simply logging into a website or by using a virtual private network. Then I want us to look at VPN. What's a VPN? A VPN is a virtual private network that allows connectivity between two remote computers that are not part of the same private network. VPNs encrypt your internet traffic and disguise your online identity. This makes it more difficult for third parties to track your activities online and steal data. The encryption takes place, that is, in real time. In order to ensure that only the proper users and data session cross to a VPN device, data encapsulation and encryption are used. A tunnel is created, so to speak, through the LANs and WANs that might intervene. This tunnel connects the two VPN devices. Every time a new session is initiated, a new tunnel is created. Some technicians refer to this as tunneling through the internet, although some VPN tunnels might go through private network as well. Then guys, an illustration of a basic VPN is shown on the figure below. Note that the VPN server is on one side of the cloud and the VPN client on the other side. The VPN client will have a standard IP address to connect to its own LAN. The IP address shown in the figure is the IP address it gets from the VPN server. The computer has two IP addresses. In essence, the VPN address is encapsulated within the logical IP address. Then, how does the VPN works? A VPN hides your IP address by letting the network redirect it through a specially configured remote server run by a VPN host. This means that if you surf online with a VPN, the VPN server becomes the source of your data. This means your internet service provider and other third parties cannot see which website you visit or what data you send and receive online. A VPN works like a filter that turns all your data into gibberish. Even if someone were to get their hands on your data, it will be useless. Guys, we are going to look at three types of VPNs with their example. Type number one is what we call remote access VPNs, or the client to server VPN. A remote access VPNs lets you use the internet to connect to a private network such as your company's office network. The internet is an untrusted link in the communication. VPN encryption is used to keep the data private and secure as it travels to and from the private network. To use a remote VPN on your device, you typically need to install client software or configure your device operating system to connect to the VPN. There also need to be a VPN server on the network end of the connection. Example, somebody working from home could use a remote access VPN to access the company's network from home. Their computers works as if it was connected to the company network in the office, and data is protected as it goes through the public internet. Then the second type of VPN is what we call that's mobile VPN. While remote access VPNs let you connect to a local network from anywhere, they do assume that the user will stay in one location. If the user disconnects, the IP tunnel also closes. With a mobile VPN, is a better option than a remote access VPN if the user is unlikely to have a stable internet connection on the same network for the entire session. With a mobile VPN, the VPN connection persists even if the user switches Wi-Fi or cellular network or loses connectivity or switches the device off for a while. A good example is professionals working from home in an area with poor connectivity could use a mobile VPN to maintain VPN access to the office all day, even when the connection is lost. Then the third type of VPN is the site-to-site VPNs, whereas a remote access VPN is designed to let individual users connect to a network and use its resources. A site-to-site VPN joins together two networks on different sites. For example, if a company had two offices on the East Coast and West Coast, for example, that's a site-to-site VPN could be used to combine them into a single network. Site-to-site VPNs, therefore, enable organizations to combine their networks from different locations into a single network called the intranet. Then about VPN, common technology that's used in site-to-site VPN is IPsec, which we covered in the previous topic when we talked about networking services. Just to let you know, site-to-site VPN can be implemented by use of that's IPsec tunneling or MPLS technology. Multi-protocol label switch, that's MPLS VPNs, can provide a guaranteed quality of service with global connectivity. This is because MPLS is a way of routing packets across a network via any transport medium such as the fiber, satellites, or microwave, and any other protocol. Guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been a 20 minutes video. I didn't expect this, but in the next video I'll be talking about World Wide Web and how it works, components of the web, and also understand the difference between the web and the internet. See you there.